See, we're a culture that is secular, that is modern. We believe that all there is to life is what we can see, what we can measure, what we can observe through science. So we don't believe in things like demons, except that we do. We are fascinated by, as a culture, and even fearful of, the occult, the demonic, spiritual darkness, from Ouija boards to witchcraft, to campfire stories, to the paranormal. People within our culture are still captivated by, fearful of, dark spiritual energy, dark spiritual power. And our interest in these things has been growing for at least a couple of decades, especially among millennials and Generation Z. There's growing interest right now in astrology, in crystals, in dark arts. In fact, Newsweek reports that both witchcraft and paganism are rising among millennials in our generation. Non-Abrahamic religions are gaining more and more traction. Now, why is that? In a secular world, we can still embrace spiritual darkness. Well, there's a few reasons why. First of all, unless a person is absolutely certain that God does not exist, it's illogical to believe that demons do not exist. Science, but today in places like Asia and Africa and Latin America, not only is belief in forces of spiritual evil common, but that's how peoples in those cultures make sense of the world that we live in. They can't imagine a world where those things aren't reality. So before we go all American culture in this and say, well, they're the unsophisticated ones, they're the ignorant ones, I hope we're not so narrow-minded as to think that it's obviously them and not consider, what if we're the ones who are being unsophisticated or narrow-minded? Now, to be fair, when it comes to demons, when it comes to spiritual darkness, some of it is superstition. Some of it is because of cultures where they have not had our last century of scientific advancements that we get to enjoy in the West. Some people are superstitious, but if you read what the biblical authors had to say about the demonic, about Satan, about spiritual darkness, you cannot accuse them of being superstitious. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Matthew is one of the biographers of the life of Jesus. And look at how he talked about all of the different kinds of people who came to Jesus seeking help. Matthew chapter 4 says this: "News about him spread all over Syria, and people brought to him all who were ill with various diseases, those suffering from severe pain, the demon-possessed, those having seizures, and the paralyzed, and he healed them." Now, do you notice what Matthew is telling his audience here? He's telling us that people came to see Jesus for all kinds of reasons. Some had diseases, and so they needed to come see Jesus because they had a disease. Some just had pain. It wasn't a disease. I've had 3 knee surgeries. None of them were caused by disease. They were caused by severe pain, okay? But, he says, some were demon-possessed. They didn't say everything's a demon, but some were. Oh, and by the way, some were seizures. The word for seizure had a broader nuance than what we use for it today. It includes epilepsy. It also includes different kinds of mental illnesses. And some were paralyzed. My point is, when you read what the biblical authors had to say about spiritual darkness, they didn't believe a demon was hiding behind every bush and rock. Okay? They believed that some things were caused by spiritual darkness, by supernatural evil. So they were not superstitious, but they were neither substitious. They were simply rational and very nuanced with their worldview. Now, I think their worldview was best captured by the 21st century American philosopher Michael Scott, who said, "I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious." Okay, that's kind of the biblical author's worldview when it came to spiritual evil.
Hey everyone, my name is James and I serve as Hope's Digital Media Engagement Director, and we just wanted to say thank you for checking out that last clip from our series, Snapshots. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by hitting that like button or leaving a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel, especially if you're interested in learning more about miracles. Subscribing will make sure that you get notified when we post new content and when we go live. Speaking of going live, we would love to personally invite you to our next live stream. We live stream every Sunday morning starting at 8:25 a.m. Central, and we would love to see you there. Here's what you can expect. You can expect a warm welcome from 2 on-air hosts. You can enjoy some engaging conversation with the chat host and our growing online community. You'll experience some live music, and of course, you get a chance to dive deeper into this series. We hope to see you Sunday.